Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the coming at you from a backup of the Hermitcraft world. A backup, my friends. Borgil, Chiwi Pepper, Spooky Dokie Bear, thank you for the bananas in chat. Lets me know that we're live. Much appreciated. Let's game rule, do daylight cycle false. Time set. Hey. There's also mobs here now as well. Let's just do that. What are we doing with sound? 20%, 20%. Cool. Today, my friends, is the day where we build and design and try to add to the aesthetic that we've already done here. And I'll admit, I haven't given myself much time to think about this. Dang, I need to go back round and address some of the vine spread. When I was placing these earlier, I was under the impression that vines didn't spread upwards, but I think actually they might. Anyway. We need to, bring this, this whole aesthetic to this area. And like I was saying, I haven't had much time to think about it or prep, but I'm kind of confident that I can wing it a bit because, I don't know, the way I did these ones over here, like, I didn't try to overthink it too much, you know, just kind of go with it a bit at a time. The consistent thing we're going to keep is this structure at the bottom. That's not going to change. So it makes sense in my mind to kind of start with these two materials, I think. Hello X, are you being nice to the lurkers today? I plan to finish my puzzle while listening in. I don't know. You're encouraging me to troll, is what I feel like. You're encouraging me to troll. I'll try and be nice. Oh, let's get rid of that one as well. Game rule. False. There we go. Take care of that. So, I feel like this area here might be one of the trickier parts to do just because it's going to be quite tall. There's a lot of space that needs to be covered over. These other sides, they might get a little more flexible. I was just about to say I'll be lurking while I feed my horses. Now I have to look over my shoulder in case X decides to troll. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. If we just start maybe here and use the opposite side as a bit of a reference. What's going on with that? What's going on with my sounds? Am I being a bit mad? Okay, it's come back. Wait. It's just the sound stopped for a second there. That was so odd. So yeah, that doesn't look very nice. Dude. The sounds keep... What is going on with the sounds? We're barely flicking up to half the memory usage. What caused the sounds to behave like that? So strange. Welcome to all the peeps tuning in. Thank you for coming by. Okay, see, maybe we start here, like that. Oh my god, it's really annoying having the sounds cut out. I'm so used to that feedback. It just cuts out. Do y'all hear it? Wait. Do y'all? Who's it cutting out for? Let me get my monitor for. I can hear the music still. Like, the music isn't a problem. Where's my game sounds? It'll be on... Okay, I can see it now. Oh no, it cut. According to this, it cuts out for you as well. Yeah, okay, it's roller says it's cutting out for you. Okay. That is bizarre. Bizarre. Now, interestingly, that has brought this to the same height as what's opposite. Bit of a wild, big entrance that could probably do with a little more depth to it. And maybe the opportunity to use other building materials here too, of course. But that's kind of nice. I feel like that's something that can be a little flexible in the future, and we could work with that. One thing I will point out, though, is that the top would be made out of slabs. And that would put this one on slightly higher. Oh my god. What is with that sound just cutting out? Maybe I just need to reboot the game. I'll see how long I can tolerate that for, you know. Now, my issue with this is when we get over in this direction, right? Like, it's going to be too much. It's going to be too high. So, I think we're going to have to create some sort of, like, low roof around here. And then, you know, and then we encounter this. So, we're going to have a very interesting structure. It's probably going to be the largest of all of them, right? Yeah, anyway, let's toy around with this a little bit. Just continue to put these in. Might be smart for me at this stage to use my axe. In fact, it's probably always smart to use your axe. Keep things kind of simple. Just not quite sure how to execute that. So we want to avoid like the big square box, but maybe we start with it and then change it from there. Pyroburnium, thank you so much for 69 months, my dude. There's a name I've been reading for a long time. I'm totally mature person and I'm not laughing at 69 months on Weed Day. Oh yeah, it's Hitler's birthday today, isn't it? I forgot about that. Thank you so much for 69 months. Tee hee hee hee. Scarn 1982, thank you for 4 months. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time. Janky Reef says, actually, it's my birthday today. Well, that is unfortunate, man. Jeez. Of all the days you picked. Because you did pick this day, right? That was your conscious decision, pretty sure. Let's go 2 blocks out. I feel like we should give ourselves like plenty of room to develop the back area. Try and make that look cool at some point. So the purpose of this first box is really for us to see like what's the essential big space that we need, right? Like maybe across here, this is going to end up being underground. Might get a little tricky over here. Actually, it's going to get very tricky if I don't sort of go close with it. I love today, it's my Christmas, says Blue for Moon 20. Oh, why is that? That's a weird coincidence. Blue Moon. I can't think of why that would have any significance today, Blue Moon, you know? Ultimate Being says, always love watching X's creative process as he's building this. Well, that is ultimately what I wanted to share and why I'm going into this in a bit of a mindset of like pressure off, because I can sit down on my own and have some cool build sessions where I come up with like the foundations for something. But then when you live stream it, it feels like it's harder to get there because I've done this before, right? But I've learned, right, A, take the pressure off. B, there is no outcome. There is no goal of like, oh my God, I've got to have a temple by the end of this stream. All we need to do is just make progress and have fun. So for me, the challenge is really just about like taking my time and developing my eye. You see, already when we look at the overall shape there, it's going to be essential that we introduce some sort of multi-level stuff and reduce the size of this thing because it just feels too big compared to these other ones. If we look at this, area here, though, we've pushed the main platform in and out before, so there's no reason we can't do it again. And actually, I think that's going to be a strength because it will kind of synergize quite well. There's almost an opportunity here to like synergize in the same spot. I find interesting. Like, part of me wants to pull the wall back here now. This is like a mega build on top of a mega build. We just keep mega building, it feels like. Those custom trees add so much to the build. They do. They do, Janky. I need to analyze the Corrales technique a little bit here. And figure out like what's the kind of groove and the pattern behind this. And then we'll put some of these, I think, we'll try and do them ourselves, but I reckon a couple round here will definitely fit in well. Hey, Dances with Magic premiering on new animation on the screen. No, I'm not trolling the lurkers. There is a new animation playing. Hey X, we love your videos and watching you stream. It is my 7-year-old's birthday, and he has been watching all of the Hermits since birth. Wow, that is a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that. And happy 7th birthday to that special someone watching out there. Don't know your name, but happy birthday. That is, honestly, hearing stuff like that is just amazing to me. I appreciate you sharing that, so thank you so much. So yeah, I feel like we can make this work, just maybe one step at a time. I feel like this is an obvious place where we can like cut away and come in, keeping the same height. So there'll be something like this here on this corner. And then again, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do the same thing again over here, right? And get quite tight with it. That's not going to give us, you know, a crazy amount. But it seems like that's a minimal amount that works. And then when we get over here, this is going to be tricky. I might actually just go ahead and dismantle this thing here. Maybe. Like, it's an autocrafter, but I could just put a double chest down here and save myself some space. I could also redesign it, possibly, so that the crafter points up and it's lower down, but that would be a bit of a pain. I really do want to make this feel smaller over here, so I think that'll get repositioned. And therefore, we'll probably have a wall come much closer over here. I really try and maximize how close it can go on this side. That will allow us to come in here. Right. Go over here. And then it's this area here that I feel like we're going to be able to do like a 2-tier platform thing. So I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna roll with this here for now. Okay. And that is a decent reduction, but there's still going to be some like hiding of stuff to do. Let's go and start in this area. This felt like the easiest area to get going with. In fact, I think I'm even going to bring this in a bit because it's quite close to the path. And I think a little distance here would actually be kind of nice. We can even go super close here. Yeah. No harm, no foul. That space, if ever want to build the redstone for it, is there. Do we have a core? I think the way I'd do a corner that's tucked in like that is like so. Wait, am I thinking about? Yeah, like so that will come across there. Could argue that I could go a little further back, and I think I will, because now that I think about it, the storage system that will be here. Do I have a schematic for this thing? No. We could guesstimate a little. It's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out at that kind of height. So like, I need to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, so it looks to me like if we went to about here, ooh, would be right up against it. Right up against it. Nomadic Nova says, X, does it make you feel old when people say they've been watching your content their whole lives? Sometimes I'm surprised by the unrelenting passage of time. Yeah, it reminds you of your age, but I've had this weird feeling of like getting younger as I get older, which has been given to me through a rigorous pursuit of health and fitness from in the past where I didn't have that. So I feel like I've gotten fitter and stronger with time. And that's like, I feel like that's almost like a built-in pursuit of youth in some way. Like there's something weird and psychological about that. But with that, I do know that, you know, I'm gonna have less time. Maybe if I'm doing everything right, more time because I'm taking care of my health from that perspective. But, you know, the time is ticking away. But I'm always trying to, I don't know, learn a lesson or just progress through whatever this journey of life is. And so I look forward into time with aspirations of things that I want to do and how I'm going to spend my time, and a sense of like, it's almost like there's wasted years in the past and there's periods of pain where you just didn't know what you were supposed to do or what you're going to do, but now it's all clear, and now it's like, I think I know who I am, and I think I know what I'm going to be doing, and like, how can I do that the best way for me? So, you know, one of those things would be like music, for example, and it's like, I just know when this thing runs out, there'll be that thing that I love doing that I'm going to jump into. So I've kind of sussed out what I want to do with my scope of time, if that makes sense. Linty says, don't make me have an existential crisis at 7:38 in the evening on a Saturday. Maybe it's 7:39, but I'm not exactly ready. Yeah. Janky Reef says, yeah, a long time ago I heard someone say life starts in your 30s, and it's kind of, in a sense, it's kind of right. Younger than that, you're kind of getting your bearings. Yeah, you're like, you think you're going to be an adult when you're 20, but there's still a lot to learn and a lot of growing up to do. And yeah, I think by the time you hit your 30s, that's when you start to get a better sense of like, oh, I'm getting older, and this doesn't slow down. Whereas in your 20s, you're still going to feel somewhat immortal. So you don't quite see it the same way, you know? We need to speed this process up a little bit, by the way. Let me show you how, because here's a good opportunity to do that. Just like that. Now we got the next one figured out, right? So we're going to take this and do a similar thing. Maybe just one for that? Yeah, I'm really feeling like going close. Like, I gave myself a bit too much wiggle room at first. I think going close is important just because it's so massive. Really shrink it down. Ever thought of putting Xisuma Says on Spotify as a podcast as moldy canned food? You know, something I could do. Maybe not. Dude, I was so tempted to like sit down and write a video this morning for Xisuma Says. Like, I encountered someone talking about a podcaster I liked, and like took this one snippet of information and like really extrapolated it to suit their like worldview. And oh man, I really just wanted to like make a response video, like breaking it all down and just being like, here's what you're doing right here. I've got that again, talking about quality of time and knowing what you want to do. I feel like I have the energy for that one day. Like the YouTube thing, the Hermitcraft thing is popping, it's happening right now. I'm gonna keep doing it because I'll feel like I'll regret it if you know, that time comes to pass or something along those lines. This might get a little bit laggier because of lighting updates here. is something I've just realized. So I think what we might need is a bit of terraforming around this area to kind of like hide things a bit. That makes sense. All I really need to do is draw the line here, and I can terraform the rest later. Yeah, so anyway, I feel like I'll have this energy to like, you know, whenever this period passes, you might still see me around making the occasional like thought piece video on Xisuma Says. You know, those seeds have been planted. That channel's there. One day I can sit down and do something like that if I wanted to. What's the numbered hotbar resource packets, vanilla tweaks? How old do you want to get? Is there an age where you just think life won't be high quality anymore? That is a great question. I just want to live for as long as I can, obviously. But in good health. Like, one of my goals is to continue to be able to exercise into my old age. Like, I don't know fully what that looks like. That might just mean I go for a walk every day at some point in time. Like, if I can keep lifting weights into my, like, 60s or 70s, even if it means I'm just lifting 5 kilograms, like, I hope I can keep doing that, because I love it so much. And, like, it's a bit on the anecdotal side, but supposedly it's like a, if you don't do it, you lose it kind of thing. And there are some old, like, bodybuilders who have kept going at it into their old age. So for me, it's all about, like, enjoying it, like setting myself up to do it long term, and keeping myself in optimal health. And you know, the biggest obstacles there are probably, I don't know, events in life that throw you maybe into depression and take you away from that like rigorous routine. But I'm kind of hoping I can keep doing it. Arnold still goes to the gym, says Turing. Yeah, and what an inspiration Arnold is, right? You know, I hope I can, you know, be in my 80s going to the gym too. That would be a beautiful thing. But you know, you never know. Your body, your genetics, it might not be there. You might deteriorate somewhat. It's all to be seen. So you can't make concrete plans. If the quality of life diminishes, then yeah, you know, being old might suck. I think it depends a lot though on if you can maintain your fitness and well-being. And you know, some of it, sometimes it's out of your control. Things can happen to you. I mean, it's out of your control, you know. The roids kind of helped with Arnie, though, says Fruegg. Yeah, so he took steroids. Like, I don't do steroids, by the way. And there's not only steroids, but there's like testosterone treatment for as you get into your older age. And I think in order to do it that late into life, you probably definitely need testosterone therapy, replacement therapy of some kind. I don't know if you need steroids to go that far though. That's something I really don't know. It's a bit of an assumptive thought for me, I guess. But I wouldn't want to do steroids to keep going that long. Like, steroids is a big gamble. It's a gamble with your health, your longevity. There are big downsides to doing it, and the upside is like, get jacked and look big. And I'm not trying to get jacked and look big. It's not the goal for me. So I don't see why I want to take that risk. And I think for some people who do, I think they might not really have thought that through. Like, I think it takes a very special and individual type of person to be that heavily motivated to mold their physique in that way. You know, like, look at Arnold. I mean, like, he's trying, like, they call it bodybuilding, but you're like trying to sculpt it, you know? You're trying to look like the gods. And that is like, you know, a top level elite thing to do. And if you're really that mad about it, then, you know, steroids is a gamble you might take. You might care about it that much that you're going to sacrifice a few years of life for those, you know, massive gains. Not Rogue Winter says steroids don't even get you there though. It's just show, no strength. I don't know if I can comment on that. I imagine there are strength gains to be had too, because you're putting on massive amounts of muscle, and you know, mass doesn't equate directly to strength, but on some level it's got to mean something. Nomadic Nova says, life is all about calculating risks and hugs. And benefits. Versus benefits, yes. Deccan says, I need a hug. Can we get some hugs in chat for Deccan? Everyone needs a hug every now and then, don't they? Dude, where is my emote for this? Why is it like not jumping out of me? Like, press that button there. Maybe, oh, I think I know why. Let me, I want to watch the animation. Deccan, this is for you, my friend. Ah, that's the one. Yeah, it is that one. Okay. All my emotes have little icons, and I just kind of, you know. Maurice says, hug yourself, mate. I'm not sure what you're trying to say with that, but like, one thing that our brains tend to do to us sometimes is be rather unkind, you know. I've had a bit of that lately. I've had a bit of my own brain beating myself up. And it's like, why are you falling into this habit again? Why are you falling into this pattern of thinking? Sometimes, you know, you got to learn to be kind to yourself. If I go any closer here, it's really like rubbing up against. Yeah, no, it's too much for that little bit. Again, shaping the height of the terrain is actually an option a lot of the time, and I kind of just feel like going into this corner, it might look better to make the whole thing feel a bit smaller if we size it up like so. Yeah, just make it feel a little smaller somehow that way. Okay, that one needs to go back. Yeah, okay, so we'll have a little bit of that there. Something like that. Let's see, what's chat want to talk about? What software do you use to stream record? I use Slob, Streamlabs OBS. It's on my list to move away from it at some point, but I'm usually like always just on a content treadmill. And it's the kind of move that will probably take like a couple of days to get all the settings and things transferred, and it's just been a bit of a yike. So I was supposed to do it in January, and I ended up doing too many other things on the to-do list and didn't get around to that one, I guess. Hey X, was Donald the main person at Mojang you talked to for Season 9 download? They used to be my boss, and we'd talk about Hermitcraft a lot, says Brian. Yeah. Yes, Donald is the person I've been chatting with. He's a really great guy, really nice. It's cool to talk to someone in there who's like, you know, it's nice to talk to people inside of companies, because you're reminded that, like, you know, companies are made of people, and Microsoft gets a bit of bad rap, but you know, there's people in there trying to do good and trying to bring cool stuff to the marketplace, which is how we got there. And yeah, it's been nice getting to know him, working with him and whatnot. I imagine he's probably a cool boss to work under. It's good to begin to notice those negative self-talk moments, then you can make sense of it and change it into understanding, says Sulfur. Yeah. I think I've been a little bit lazy with that. I'm too used to noticing it in the third person and reminding myself, but then I don't take the time to like talk myself out of it. I'm like, oh, there's that voice again. Then I think I kind of tolerate it a bit too much, because I just had, I don't know, like a bit of a weird mood. It kind of went away yesterday, but for a few, like the last week or so, I don't know, maybe more than that, like I've just been a bit moody, and it's just these like thoughts, and I'm like, man, this is the way I used to think. Why am I like slipping back into that again? And that I kind of left it there, as opposed to perhaps taking the time to think it through a bit more, and like I say, be kind to yourself and all that. That's awesome. I'm in esports elsewhere at Mojang, and he was great. Moved to Mojang a bit later. Got you, Brian. Like from Microsoft to Mojang. Just realised something. The height of this, like, there's gonna be slabs, and then there's gonna be tough blocks. Fortunately, that is not going to be an issue. It just maybe gets a little close in that corner. I think we're going to be absolutely fine. Doing everything correct. Here's probably a good opportunity to use stack again. Let's see. I think that autocraft is going to have to go. Although... It's just this bit of terrain over here. It's going to be like a little too obvious. There might be an opportunity to kind of embrace that to some extent. Like the promenade we're going to extend. Then maybe we have like an elevated promenade, you know? Lucro says hugs to you too, X. Oh, thank you, my dude. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I'm not someone to like go and seek out a hug or help. I tend to just deal with everything myself. But then again, like, I have a therapeutic output for all of you that have been immensely helpful. You could terraform a small cliff there. Jack it, frack it. That's a great way to think about it, yeah. We totally could do something like that. Like here I think what we'll do, we're coming around to this side now. I've got a border building over there, apparently. I think we're going to need a little bit of landscape love on this side. Landscape love. Like, I could turn that back in immediately if I wanted to, and then cover this stuff up, so... Let's see, then that there. Then you'd have that, and then you'd have... Ooh, if I really wanted to bring this in, like, we are playing some games, but then I feel like that's nicely aligned with the next bit, so we'll play those games. Bit of a strange expression when you realise what I mean is we just put grass over the top of this. Literally what I mean, you know. Bit of that, bit of this, and Bob's your uncle. Where does that phrase come from, eh? Oh, it's Bob, and why is he everyone's uncle? That's nice and simple, isn't it? This is actually looking way more reasonable at the moment. I like it. It's actually like... I like the mindset shift I've learned recently about productivity. Like, in the past, I would be bugging myself about, like, yeah, 30 minutes and we've done this, but, like, my brain would be like, oh, you could be building faster if you weren't waffling, and, like, you could be using these tools to go even quicker. And it's like, actually, it's about, like, quality of time and enjoying what you're doing. And so, like, just taking a little bit of time to throw this together is kind of awesome. The origins are uncertain, but a common hypothesis is that the expression arose after Conservative Prime Minister Robert Gascoigne Cecil, there's a name you don't hear often, Cecil, 3rd Marquis of the Salisbury Bob, appointed his nephew Arthur Balfour as Chief Secretary for Ireland in 1887, an act of nepotism, which was apparently both surprising and unpopular. Huh. And so they say Bob's your uncle. Fascinating stuff. I always wonder what's the research behind that? Like, someone had to really like dig deep to figure that one out, didn't they? I wonder if we can swing this thing in again, like here to there, there to here. Feels like you would just push this bit further back if that were the case. And it does have a little bit of an alignment with that side that might be worth breaking. I think I'm going to skip this bit and just crack on with that. Interesting. It aligns perfectly with this. Wrong bit. Alright, because I've already built this on Hermitcraft, breaking some redstone isn't, like, criminal. But I think we're going to have to go around this bit, for sure. Let's stack that by 3. Yeah, and then the next bit's going to be somewhere around there. That looks like the exact spot to put it. Hey, we got a noise in the ear. It's JN72. Thank you for 30 months, my dude. Also, Bell Steven for 27. Not sure if I actually read that one out earlier, so thank you, Bell, Steven, and JN72. Thank you for 30 months. How do you view your builds in this game? Do you find yourself seeing it as a chore, or do you find yourself excited to add to your build every day? I find it exciting, but what's been exciting for me this season is breaking away from my old ways of thinking about building. Because I think the old way I approached it did kind of make it a bit more of a chore. Whereas now I'm feeling way more refreshed, I guess, about my approach to building. Something like that. Yeah, this season's like been a real change of pace and a real different approach to the game. And that's really been like a big part of it. So here, I'm thinking that we're going to add like a 2-tier thing. Because there's such a big height difference. We're going to have to mess around with like the height of the area somehow, right? Because it's going to start to drop over here. All that stuff's going to be hidden down below. And, you know, I don't have to put every block in today, right? But enough for us to understand what we're trying to achieve. Hanging garden vibes for the edition today, says Blue Moon. Possibly, yeah. I was thinking about doing the thing that I did at the Rooted shop with the leaves and the oak trapdoors. I was thinking of putting that across here, like having some pillars come up, having something extend across. I don't know, because, you know, I planned on decorating a lot of this area here, and I just keep not getting around to it. And the same for this bit over here as well, so I do want to kind of get my building groove on and do more details and things around here. But yeah, like, to give you a sense of the big picture, like, when the third temple and the area around it is done, we will be ready to do a project that I'm super excited about, and I think the place I might put it is like here. I need to speak to Hypno, but I could see myself sort of taking over this space and building a very big building in this spot and using the area around it as like a big garden or something. And then it just kind of like nicely nestles once again amongst other players and their bases and stuff. Or another possibility is to maybe put it over there. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Hugs activate parts of the brain that control the parasympathetic system. This system can restore energy, repair our bodies, and shift us into a more balanced state. Combine this with feelings of love and compassion and gratitude together with the oxytocin, serotonin release in your brain during a hug. And it can leave us feeling happy, relaxed, and content with the world, says DJ Pooh. Yeah, it reminds me, I always get like a nice feeling when you have a hug. I guess I just never think to like reach out and ask for one or something, you know? It's just not kind of my thing. When I say it's not my thing, I mean like, not like, and I'm right, it's just something that I do. I just don't get in that headspace. Hey! Athena Rawcar. Let me try that again. Athena Rokar. Athena Rokar. There we go. I think I got it. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. I reckon what we're going to do is have like a secondary wall that starts somewhere around here, then comes across and comes out all the way like this, and then we've got like, you know, that extra platform bit. So I think this is just going to stay exactly where it is, basically. Let's go ahead and make it so, number one. Make it so. Do that. Could have stacked it a little further, actually. Yeah, that looks like the right spot to turn. Except we do it like this. I think, yeah, no, that's correct. Yep. Got it. Oops. Woo! Come a little close to comfort to some redstone there, didn't we? Almost broke something, possibly. Yeah, okay. Okay. How are we lining up? So 1, 2, space, 1, 2. Space, 1, 2. Is that possible? Wow, that's actually like right rubbing up next to it. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, that's correct. But I've done something wrong. Just misguided by those top bits. Yeah, look at that. About as tight as it gets. Okay, so like, time to zoom out. We've made that as small as we can make it. And it's still the biggest and absolutely massive. There is now that I look at it again, there is like one thing I could have done is maybe actually built this wall like across here and done something different with the entrance, you know, like it didn't have to have this thing here. It could have been like the wall's further back and you just sort of tunnel down underneath it, but I think that's pretty damn awesome what we got right there. Plenty of space. Plenty of space. And oh yeah, what's going on here? Like these are, weren't they supposed to be slabs on top? It's actually just slabs underneath. So I was mistaken when I did this. It was actually slabs at that level. And we can probably modify that, but I think it kind of looks fine, honestly. That looks a little bit nicer, I think. Yeah, and then technically these would go all the way around, so I think I just place them manually. I don't think there's a quick way to add that all the way around the whole build. And once we put this in, we get to do something really cool next. Still got a couple more little things to think about. I request vertical slabs. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Will you have a flatter roof then? I don't know. Like these buildings that I make don't really have roofs. They've got like other structures on top of them. So we're yet to see quite how that comes together. Right, on this side, I'd say big terraforming job. Possibly one that lets us keep this here. I think that might actually be possible. Again, it's probably going to be like a terraform thing over here too. So let's put in some blocks to kind of explain that to ourselves. And the walls might not always sit at this height because it's kind of the same all the way around. So we get to play that a little bit by ear. Like especially over here, actually, it really feels like this would have dropped down somewhat. But yeah, we'll figure out the rest of that later. So All of that's a big terraforming job. Ah, and then we don't need these up here. You could put a garden park maze on the top of the building. I could do something flat. I don't know. You make me now want to focus more on the bottom area just because I can see that already in my mind's eye, and now you're making me think different about the top area. So it's good, I've found, with building, to follow what's in your mind's eye. Maybe not so much the ambition that you've set out for yourself. Right. So I think we actually have to focus on this area here now. Now, I'm going to have a promenade, right? And with the promenade, like, I still consider this quite unfinished. I just haven't got around to, like, focusing on what details to put on it. It needs lighting up. But then I've gone and created little areas like this. And so there is, like, a bit of an attachment to having... In fact, I already feel like this could perhaps be our build palette. So, like, spruce wood and dirt, and then use the spruce trapdoors again for a raised area, since we've seen that here. Except this one will be, like, much, much larger. Static Brain, thank you so much for your subscription. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for subscribing and supporting my channel here. Hope you're having a good one hanging out with us today. We live in a round world that some want to prove flat, but play games flat that we tend to round up. I don't know what you mean by that. Don't know what you mean. Let's see. Anyway, so what do I want to do next? I think I want to get my randomization bit done. It's actually quite well. Let's start this one down below everything. It's actually quite beneficial to do this, I find. Gazebo, says DJ Win. Gazebo, mate. Right, let's now replace stone bricks with stone. How much percent? 50. Do you know, I did actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Here's why. Like, designing it in creative, I came up with some rules, which was to put these blocks and the cracked ones towards the bottom, and more of the mossy stuff up the top. Yeah. Now I don't want to fill that in and try and rebuild it block by block. I just need to do that myself when I'm at that stage. Right? So like these were designed with stone blocks all the way here, but when it came to building it, I would then go, like, I'm not going to put in the glow lichen and the glow berries and the bamboo. We can do that in survival. And we will do that in survival. So, actually, no. We can consider what we got here kind of done. Now, the next thing is, for that area I just described, I kind of look at this and wonder... Yeah, it needs a little bit of like a height adjustment here and there for us to embrace. And I think I can see a way for us to do that. In fact, we might have a lot of fun building some components of this in survival, just doing it on the wing, because I'm kind of seeing things where we don't need to figure out all the details right now. But let's go ahead and actually get some of this in place. So we're thinking about having this as the floor material in this space. This combo again. And yeah, it's going to just sit above everything. Directly above. It shouldn't interfere with any of it either. Does make it a little bit annoying if ever you need to come in and like diagnose your redstone and whatnot, but shouldn't be an issue. This system should be solid. Which reminds me, I've still got a bit of a stretch to go to actually use it, because I need to do a lot of like shulker box filtering stuff, so we'll get there eventually. I think it's the Minecraft terrain that is flat, and we try to round it and make it more terrain when people IRL think it's flat. I don't know what you mean. Like, the Minecraft terrain isn't flat. Like, a common thing to do with builds is to flatten the terrain around it, and I do think it's clever to try and incorporate the shape of the land to some extent. Yeah, I could probably now start to use a little bit of the fill tool here. Let's go grab that. It's actually just set, isn't it? Coarse dirt and spruce planks. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite that big, but you know, you can see where we're going here. Dude, the sounds, again, like, I'm just noticing it. Sometimes it plays, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, okay, so about here, what I'm considering is, in this space, maybe we go down, like, one step at a time. Down to here or somewhere. Whoops. Okay, let's go ahead and use that fill tool again. So we've got that like so, and then I think around here we just want to lower it by 1. Uh-huh. And obviously slabs and stuff will go into it. But then we create like a little bit of a staircase feel, like it's coming down to this level now. And then the promenade will, I don't know, we might tear away some of this terrain. I think we're going to be winging it a lot, but we'll give ourselves like a lot of space to build other things around here in this area. Which is why I feel a little bit torn about like going too far with this. Like, we don't have to build it all today, but we can get in some good foundations, I think. Then you might argue that we need the same thing over here, right? Like, if we've got an access point at one end, we need an access point at another. So this thing could come out to about there. And then you're going to have that step-on bit over here. It's just not going to be as big and pronounced. Yeah, maybe this road comes around into there. I don't know. But then now we want like some sort of definitive wall for this thing. I think what I did in the other area was that, like, have it raised up by 1. I can't remember. You can make a greenery strip in between the promenade and the higher point. Yeah, it's very versatile. We could do also many things, right? So many things we could do. Lots of building materials we could use as well. Like, it's a blank canvas at the moment. And it's not a build that has any functionality. It's all about how we want to tell a story, I guess, about like what's going on here. How do you shift place the trapdoors without flying down? Just hold shift. DJ Win, gifting a sub. DJ Win, thank you for the gifted sub to Maple and Days. Thank you so much for supporting our community. Maple, be sure to say thanks in the chat. I could definitely see this working. Part of me thinks you probably do need this the darker shade of wood, and then to do something like this, so it's like you could build a bit more of a structure below it. But I think we've got to really think about what other materials we've put into our build before. I think jungle woods, like, there's no way I'm putting any more of this stuff in. Mangrove, no. We've done terracotta, we've done jungle wood, we've done basalt as well. If I were to take my pick, I'd honestly say I think this stuff might be what we want to hide down the bottom. Now, as for straight up woods, there isn't, like planks, there isn't a lot of that. There's packed mud. Might have to stick with spruce since that's been the one then. So I was looking for a little bit of contrast at first, but let's see where we get with having this kind of material down below. So you got that at that level. This is probably, in all likelihood, going to be spruce. Which makes everything up there just a little bit monotone, doesn't it? And then we maybe go with the jungle here. Although I've used jungle primarily as like a roof, I think. I don't know, it's not quite got the same effect as when we put it in over here. Have I ever heard On the Promenade by FM Skyline? Great Vaporwave Bop. I have not. Smooth basalt looks even darker. Yeah. See, this is the thing with building and the mind's eye and stuff. Like, I don't actually have a clear vision of what I want to do, but as I try and do something, I'm not quite sure it's going a lot of the time. Which is why I tend to jump around a lot when I do this stuff. Like, if something's not working in this moment, just, like, leave it. Also, I really like the way I've been putting the spruce on the outside here. And then occasionally on the inside. But in order to do that, you kind of need the leaves around there to hide that. The build needs more support. The pillars aren't really connected to it. That's true. That's true. There is an element of that. So we can play around with shape and attach it, right? And that, you know, just as a shape, it does do a little bit, but I don't think that's the issue. I just don't think it has the right kind of direction yet. So let's put a pin in that. Let's whiz around and think a little bit more about other things that we need to do. I mean, one thing I can do that doesn't really get us very far is at least put in the tough on this side, because we know that we're going to have... Well, let's actually go see how it's set up again. The tough is actually one block lower, which I kind of forgot about. No, we're going to be okay here. The tough is actually like in this space. So I reckon you're going to need like walkways that are at least like 3 blocks, right? So one thing we could do is go and put like a minimum of these all the way around. I think that'll do. I physically repulsed writing that, says Flinty. What did you write? Oh my god, guys, stop. I am really that funny. What are we talking about here? Jeez. What are we talking about? You could bring out the promenade to the edge of the river whenever you circle back to that. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the promenades will get extended across the edge of the river, and then it's just like all this other stuff that we're trying to put with it. My mind's eye isn't quite there at the moment, so I'm not going to push it, but you need those ideas that click, you know? If we look at this thing here, there's a lot going on here that clicks and looks really cool. I just, oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to find like this shape in the material that like matches the edge there. Anyway, you know, we give ourselves a little break and we crack on. Let's. Oh yeah, that's not needed. So this would also have that like 3 in it. go. 2, 3, and then over here. And then even we can prep for this bit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. All of that's correct, isn't it? Mike Sure, thank you so much for 10 months of support, my dude. I'm going to hit the butcher name button because I've probably absolutely butchered your name, as I so often do. But thank you for putting up with me, my dude. Do you know of any of the hermits who thought of making a City of Atlantis build under the ocean? I have a mind reader. So I have been reading the minds of all the hermits consistently. And of all the thoughts they've thought about, I can tell you that City of Atlantis under the ocean is not something any hermit has thought of. Right, let's do that. I need to come out by one more. Right, let's see. Guess it'll be to there. Right. Look at me, I know what I'm doing. We're doing it fast as well. It's a little nerve-wracking every time I said it though, I'll admit that. There you go. So if we have some buildings and stuff, like we can use these as perhaps the guidelines for where they'll go and what they'll be. Now all of the insides get to be made out of this stuff. Right, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to switch to standing. I've been sat for an hour. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I knew you could read minds. Suspicion confirmed, says DJ Win. I knew you were going to say that. Convince Corrales to stream, says Kurisai. Convince Corrales to stream. You say it as if I can just do that. As if I can just convince someone to stream. Can I convince you, Kursai, to eat your own hand? Because if I could, I'd just write that in some streamers' chat and be like, you know, convince so-and-so to eat their own hand. Because, you know, Corrales streaming and eating your own hand are very similar things, of course. Of course. Bozzy! Isn't there a convince button on your stream deck? Oh, look at that, there is. Should I press it, chat? You can read minds so it's plausible. Reading and convincing are two different things. I've eaten my hand, what's the next step, says Drew Dude. I didn't ask you to eat your hand, oh my goodness me. The powers of convincing are not working as intended here. Mark says I'm not convinced yet. I wasn't trying to convince you, jeez. Right. Do you know what I haven't put on this one that the other two have? I've only just realised it. Can anyone tell me what this one is missing that the other two have? It doesn't have to have this thing, but I think it probably does. I'll let you chat. Green is not the answer. Instructions unclear. 8 Corrales has started streaming my hand. Gosh darn it. Soul Lantern's light stairs. There we go. There we go. Some of you are on it. Some of you are on it. Maybe here would be like a good spot for a staircase to go up, right? The way I've done it in the past, I think they're 4 wide, but that's because I broke... Yeah, I broke the layout to do that each time. Over here, I think they're 5 wide. So there are no rules that say it has to be a particular way or not. Therefore, the ideal space to me feels like between those two. But because we're dealing with like more limited space, I guess I can always just expand this. Right, there's no reason this can't be made a little bigger. And if we were to... Right, how do we line it up? So it's like that bit gets chopped off. And then your stairs go to that level, so they'd be there. I really wish there was like a diagonal stack tool. Because whenever I do this, it always ends up being a bit ugly. Ugly! It ends up being a bit ugly. Where's the stack command? Come on. You're not too far away. I could see that kind of being okay. Or maybe the trick was to come in from the other side. I'm gonna go look at these again. Yeah, no, I think we probably set it up correct. Yeah, I could see something like that just about working. Can't you diagonally stack by looking at an angle, says Bandsteed. I think like left to right angles you can, but not like up and down angles. But I just might have limited knowledge, you know. So yeah, there's that. Do we want to put one in on the other side? It feels like there's probably a good shout to put one just over here. And then maybe there's like another path on a bridge across the river. Or maybe we put it... I think it'd be a bit of a squeeze on this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to put one here. That is the spot, isn't it? Right there. Stack it by 4. Stack it and attack it. Don't know why I said that. Yeah, so then we got one there as well. I don't know. Part of me thinks like, nah, it should be central, right? Maybe I'll make it central. Like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. It could go, yeah, it could go here. It could go very central. Chat, do you want it central? I think I'm just going to put it central. Put it central. I don't care what you say, chat. I'm going to make my own decisions. Jeez, I sound rude now, don't I? Rude. Right. Stack them if you... Well, what were we just talking about? See, you can do it that way. You just can't... In fact, honestly, that looked like it was going down a bit. No, it wasn't. You can't do it up and down, but you can do it like diagonal. Weird. Right. So then we have a staircase over here too. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Although I kind of think maybe build a little bit more of it for now. Yeah, I reckon that's going to be good. I reckon that's going to be good. We don't need any more than that. Won't making in Central mess with the terraforming? I don't think so, Gizmosis. I don't think so at all. Monarchist fan 02, thank you ever so much for 6 months of support. That is 1/2 of a year. AKA a quarter of 2 years. Also known as an 1/8 of 4. Do you want me to continue? Probably not. You're probably thinking, why did I just resubscribe? Okay. Let's now look at this. This is like 3 wide. If I chop away that bit, and then we just make it 3 wide there. come out all the way to this free wide bit. There you go. I think that's the shape we're probably going to embrace over here. Now, the promenade gave me a little bit of inspiration last time I looked at it. You know, I really think there's a big benefit to having, like, a predefined idea of what you want to build. In fact, one of my favorite things I've seen this season from the Hermits is Mumbo sketching out what he wanted to make before he made it. I'd never thought of doing that, and it's just such a simple idea. Like, get that thing in your mind in front of you first. I can't draw, but that's not to say I couldn't put time and effort into it. But dang, like, I could do a little bit of sketching. I could see that being incredibly beneficial. Let's have a read of chat again. Oh, the Kraken. Thank you for the lovely message. I'm glad you enjoy my streams. I'm on my weekend. No more school, says Jet Dragon. Yay! No more school. No more learning. No more brain smarts. Get those brain smarts away from me. I don't want your knowledge. I'm wondering, I don't want to stray too far from what we've already done with our block palette. Like, if we just zoom out here, there's definitely room for, like, shades of different color and ideas here, but I don't think you want to steer too far away from what we've already done, you know? Roho the cat works in property and construction. Don't consider yourself good at drawing, but you scribble down designs and details and it really helps. Yeah, really does seem like a smart thing to do. A bat. There's only one bat on my player mob cap. Actually, that might not be true because we're not on the server. Yeah, I don't know, like, see, the thing is, with the promenade here, I feel like you need that contrast. And we go into this, like, spruce thing, and then we have the greenery. I can't help but feel having the promenade pre-built here would be really helpful. And that's something I don't want to do, because I want to do it on Hermitcraft, right? I don't want to come in and have, like, this preordained thing to make. So maybe we can just have enough of it that it lets us look at all of this a little different. So, like, okay, I need to clear the inventory a bit here. Getting a bit messy. Yeah, we're kind of at one of those sticky points, right? I mentioned this earlier. Like, you need to enjoy the process because you're gonna hit sticky points where it doesn't quite come together. But that's okay. You just need to figure out, like, what are you gonna do about it? There could be an opportunity, like, I'm thinking like a window, right? I don't want to have a window into the redstone, I don't think. But something else that you look at here. Chat, do you have anything come to mind? Like, what else would you look at here? Sort of where my mind is wandering. Mud bricks, that's the one. Maybe paintings. I feel like them being on the promenade, not really. I don't know. No, I don't feel like it's an art gallery. A statue of Etho. No, a hermit statue could actually fit into this area in one way or another, perhaps. Let's say we go over here. Then that little bit of shape, that's important. This looks like it's got a little bit of potential, right? Definitely feels like something to take in. Inlet to a statue. We could definitely do another guardian, right? There's no reason we couldn't have a guardian. Well, actually, there might be. We might find ourselves a little cramped for space, as you can see. Gap too small. Oh yeah, on that one it is, isn't it? That is ridiculous. You should stop watching me. I'm clearly not good at this game. Clearly not good at this game. Jeez. That's kind of nice. This could totally work. Definitely needing a few more blocks and details and whatnot, but we're going in the right direction. Now, we could put a lot of greenery here, or maybe, just maybe it's Maybelline. Let's go over here. Do that. That's surprisingly alright. That's surprisingly alright. That's surprisingly decent, is what I'd say so far. Some of your bamboo there. What are we talking about? Like actual bamboo plant or like bamboo wood? Because I am quite hesitant to add other things at this point. Like, I'm very hesitant to add more colours and whatnot to our overall palette. This is better when you got like the grown fluffy stuff on it. Where's the old bone meal for that? Is that what we're talking about? Or, so my other idea was like, what if you had leaves? But I think that's a bit off because you're using leaves at the bottom. I don't think I want to go in that direction. You could just throw in like color. Like I could see like a lime terracotta not looking too bad here. But again, adding in more colors compared to the overall palette, a little unsure about that. So some of y'all suggested bamboo, right? Now there's two colors here. Let's try both. The green, like I said, the lime terracotta. So, is this a terrible thing? I think it is. Ugh. That makes me feel sick. Dunno. The yellow of the bamboo, like almost, needs to feel a little more gritty. Hello, I just put that there. Like, what are you doing? Put it there. Gosh. Get frustrated. Right. Dunno. He did the thing, dies, says Felinity. I did the thing and died, apparently. Mud looks much cleaner, ironically. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Hey, Morgan Corn, 30 months of support with the old Amazon Prime. Thank you, my dude. That is greatly appreciated. I hope you're entertained today. I hope you're to do today to die. The diddly what dang diddly dong do did it. I keep saying, if I keep doing too much of that, I'll say something wrong. And I'll get cancelled off of the internet. Please don't cancel me. Right, let's go. What is it we're working with? Jungle, the woods, like that. Oh! Oh, suits you, sir. Suits you, sir. I feel like a few details on that. That's a nice material right there. Maybe a couple of odd rotations. Oh! Gosh, getting a little bit too excited about these blocks, aren't I? That's very pleasant. And I feel like actually the bamboo's going to look, in fact, plants in general here might look really fantastic. If we mess around with some of the leaves as well, get a little bit exotic, perhaps. Different leaf types. You know, you got those going on. They're all going to have trapdoors. We could do different trapdoors here. We could break our own rules. Oh, what a rebel. Something interesting in it. Oh, man, I feel like it's all of a sudden just started to come together. It's all because of that. Right, now. We need the bone meal, don't we? Wait. I think you can... Yeah, you can access bone meal there. Also... Oh, this is why I love this so much. We get to really think a little bit more about what we want to do. Like, go back to flowers. No. Go back to bone meal. Oh, I saw what I wanted. That one. Ah. I can't actually hang it from there. Right, doesn't that middle one look awesome? I think that's the way we're going to have to go down here. And maybe have some brighter... And then maybe put something there. Like, that's obvious. What's a little less obvious? Oh, it looks intentional. That's kind of cool, but I don't think it's the right move. Torch flower. Yeah, let's go grab the torch flower. Oh, I wish we had a little more versatility with how to place this. Ooh, yeah, we can just throw... You know, I was thinking maybe grass here and shaping this up a little different. But if we want to, like, we can just have all sorts of flowers here. Those don't go in there, though. Yeah, just the occasional one. I think this dripstone is cool, but it's a bit obnoxious. I still feel like we need something just in between these. That's kind of nice, actually. And so's the space, honestly. Maybe it's the floor that needs to be a little different. Don't always have to fill every little space with something, right? This is also going to need like a lighting of some sort. Anyway, stoked is the word I would use for that. I am stoked. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's first of all stack that way twice. Oh, okay, I need to expand one more. It's gonna need variety, isn't it? It's definitely gonna need variety. Now, as for... Oh, look at that. It actually lined up perfectly. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Perfect alignment. Yeah, it's just gonna need... It's gonna need some, like, general variety as we go across, so... not gonna repeat ourselves that much all the time, right? And then maybe some of the blocks behind get changed and we bring in some different things too. But yeah, I just want to give ourselves like the blueprint for this. So things hanging down kind of strikes me as a possibility. It's like little lanterns and stuff on chains. Whoops. Anyway, I don't know. Like, there's a little too much uniformity to this. So, what happens if, like, if we come here... I need some of that again in front of it. Whoops, did it wrong. Yeah, height is going to help here, isn't it? We need like up and down, and there's definitely room for that over here. So let's go ahead and maybe just fill in a bit more of this so we can see it more. Let's go ahead to there maybe. I mean, obviously you're going to use, I don't know, slabs. You're going to smooth out the transition. Yeah, height is definitely doing a trick for us. Yeah, it's doing us a favor. Thanks, height. I owe you one. Okay, move it to. That's gonna work. That's really taken out the repetition. That's taking it out. Then we're gonna have stuff like, oh yeah, that was the other idea, right? Glowberries. So, you see how I've put these lanterns on this lip, right? We create little rules in our head, you know? We become conformists in this society. What? Let's go and put that there. And then, you know, you can have a little bit just hang off the side. Like, embrace the differences in the shapes, I think, is quite possibly the way to think about it. So we can add little details that way. And there's probably a lot more we can do there, we can figure out. Now I'm kind of interested in this top area. Do you know what will give it more depth? Like, just the subtle change like that. Now it's slightly more interesting. Okay, then here, I need to clear this inventory out again because it's just foul. It's an abomination. Something like that. Now the question is, do we put that there so it connects? Or do we do it with a different trapdoor? Where are we at? Trapdoors, right in the middle. Or, you know, like, why does this have to be spruce? Change up them rules. I think I like that one the most. Building with X. You'd never thought you'd see it. But we're doing it. I think we're doing it good as well. Oh, that's beautiful. That's got a real nice balance to it, if you were to ask me. I'm also wondering a little bit. Nah, I don't think it would work that way around. So that's a really nice backdrop for the promenade, I think. I am also looking at it and thinking, like we've gone up and down, maybe we need to come out and in a little bit as well. So this might be more of a template for me to just build off of, like, live on the server, as opposed to build this like block for block. So let's use this side as an opportunity to mess around with that idea a little bit more. Like, okay, we're definitely going to keep these sections of free, but I want the next one to come forward. What would that look like? Cocoa bean instead of lantern. Interesting idea. Yeah? Yeah, you could put those in as well. There's a lot we could do here. A lot we could do. And that's too wide. I don't know how that happened. There's not actually that much space to experiment with this idea on this side, so I think this will be like a little bit of a half experiment, let's say. Hey, we got Bugsy0 here with the subscription, with the Prime. Thank you for using the Amazon Prime on me, my dude. Much appreciate. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I guess that's another thing about... Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I didn't say height, did I? I said bringing it in and out. Like, the height happens at the bottom. This area will remain flat. That just feels right to me. We're talking about this bit here, I think. So we got all of that going on. Oh wait, does it then come forward a little bit? It does. Does it come to there? Yeah. You know how we do? And then in the corner here, you'd just do that. Maybe the same here. That looks like it could work as well, honestly. I think we've just found all of the components we need to make something really awesome here at the Promenade, right? And then maybe some like something we haven't done in the past, but we've got way more space here, right? This is way wider. Is we put in, I don't know why I'm using that. Let's see. What trapdoor do we want? Probably the spruce again. Put in little flower boxes. I really like that torch flower. Something like that on the Promenade. I think you need something with a little more contrast, actually. The build is coming along nicely, says Max Level. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. US Assassinations is here subscribing. Thank you for the subscription. Don't assassinate anyone. I don't recommend it. So yeah, this is going to be interesting because over here we've kept things very flat, and now we're going to play around with the height quite a bit. But I like the right. That's looking cool. That's looking really cool. I would say, though, we sort of settled on the stripped log. And I can't help but feel there might be a more... Let's actually make a big selection here. And just mess around with changing that. Like, I can't help but feel it's all a little, like... It's all brown and light brown. So, like, what other material could be there? Like, if we go replace... stripped, I think it was jungle woods, but I'm pretty sure it's jungle woods. Like, what do we want to replace it with? Terracotta. Let's try that one. That's better. That's actually better. I think it shows you that we need that. Let's go. Here's where, as a builder, right, you can go down this rabbit hole just trying different stuff over and over again. Have like a mix. Looks really nice. I think we need something that speaks to the temple a little bit more, maybe. Like, what else? I mean, we've actually used terracotta in the temple before, so that's okay. We tried mud. We looked at mud. I just feel like there might be something to, like what are temples? Our temples are overgrown. They're effectively old... ancient civilizations, right? Like, maybe someone still lives in it, but it's not really a temple anymore. It's like long built, overgrown. So, like, what is the story of that? Alternate acacia and mangrove. I am not putting any any mangrove in there. So let's go stripped acacia log. Again, another nice earthy texture. I think we could go with any of those. I think the acacia might be my favorite though. Red sandstone. I think that's going to be too strong. Yeah, that's too strong for my liking. Mossy. That's a good idea. So, like, we got mossy cobblestone, moss block. How about some cobblestone? Oh, you see, that's a hard one right there. I gotta say, as nice as that is, it does look a little like a mix of two things. Like, you've got a mossy structure, but then you've put these packed bricks around it. So, like, let's go back a step. When we compare that to this one, that feels more like a complete structure to me. In fact, I would lean towards the terracotta one we tried. I still think that's the best. Like that. Maybe just less at the bottom. Black stone at the bottom. I'm going to tell you now, I don't think I'm going to like this. I think this is going to make me puke. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it's everywhere. Oh, it's disgusting. I'm messing. It looks horrendous. Right, let's deep slate. Yeah, it's okay. It's just like, it's too different. Okay, I'm looking for some curious suggestions from chat. I mean, cyan terracotta I don't think that fits the vibe, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it's just a little too clean and sort of modern feeling. Warped Hyperthate. Let's have a look at some blocks through the creative menu, shall we? I'd be interested to try Cherry Log. Warped that one. Oh, wait. That one. Nah, way too colourful. I'm yet to like see where I feel like it's really obvious building with Cherry Log fits in. That purplish tint is just so strong. Ground Mushroom, that's a good shout. I love how like when someone puts in a good one, lots of people repeat it. Because then it's like easier to spot. Undo. Mistakes were made. That's so similar. Like, let's go undo. Let's do that and terracotta. That's nice. That's really nice. I think I would go with that. Dripstone blocks. I'll give that one a try. Why not? We've got nothing better to do. You see, dripstone, it's almost there. It's just a little too noisy, that texture, I think. Mushroom stem. I don't think that's going to look good. Oops, I think I forgot to do undo. What did we type it? Mushroom stem? You know what? It's not that bad. It just doesn't fit the vibe. Like, Blackstone looked horrendous, but that one, you know. So like strip mangrove log would probably look alright, but I'm ruling that one out. And we've tried a lot of stuff here. We haven't tried granite and andesite or andesite and stone. Let's try andesite with stone. And then granite. Granite's surprisingly decent. That's surprisingly decent, I would say. I'd almost go for that. What's the closest thing we can mix with granite? Let me show you something amazing, chat. Like, get the latest version of the block swapper mod, because now we got this. Okay. So, like, rooted dirt. Oh my god, I should have thought of that. Bricks. We should have tried bricks, but these are the closest colors to granite. So granite and terracotta, but you got the difference in smoothness there is not going to work in your favor. I think rooted dirt. Oh, actually, it puts granite first in the list. I thought it would be in the middle. Right, bricks, but rooted dirt was an interesting one. Is it there? It is. There's rooted dirt in that, and I can bet. That's a compelling one. That's a compelling one. I'm still sticking with our originals. Okay, and then what did we say? We also saw in that list bricks. Bricks is very clean and nice. I'm gonna go with brown mushroom and terracotta. I'm really torn actually. Because if I go with rooted dirt, it kind of makes like more use out of my rooted dirt shop. It's kind of wild. Like maybe I could roll with that. Chat, y'all are throwing a crazy amount of suggestions my way. Prismarine, I don't think so. Yeah, we might just leave it there. Like, maybe dirt, but grass might spread. Although it's vertical, so grass couldn't grow there. So we could actually use dirt in the mix as well. So if I go here and do, like... Oh, we could do dirt. Not diamond blocks. I'm surprised no one suggested that. Now it feels like it's like the earth being held back. Oh, I'm so indecisive on this one, chat. I want to see those stripped acacia logs again. Oh, that's gorgeous. It's the contrast with the green that's really nice there. I think I might just go with that because it looks so cool. Then again, it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the environment. basically, we could probably do a lot of different things and it'd be really nice. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. I think it gives us, you know, gets to use the rooted dirt. It fits in well with the environment and stuff, I think. So that'll do. That'll do, chat, won't it? That'll do. Stripped acacia and terracotta mix. Now, I think I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to let the greenery of the bamboo be the contrast. Some of that will be hanging glowberries, maybe like vines and stuff, so there's like a variety of greenery that goes across it. We're going to build it like this, and this is going to be part of the promenade. So whenever we do the building the promenade project, like we have all of the components for that. There'll be a staircase that leads down at the end. Like, a lot of figuring out what's going to go around here, I don't think is something I need to do right now or today. So, with that, probably the more important and difficult bit to figure out because of the nature of this, you know, needing the space down here. I think we are now ready to turn our attention to the top. I just don't have a vision for what I want to do with that area. How tall, how big. So, we're just going to look at it for a little bit, I think. RHC Frank, thank you so much for the Prime. Nicholas C2, thank you for 11 months of support. Probably not a bad idea for me to just, like, let this stew now, you know? Like, not a bad time to let what we've done today settle in, I think. Is it really? Like, that's really good progress. Especially with the promenade stuff. Diorite temple, question mark. Absolutely not. This is very much going to stick to the same build, style, and theme. And this will be the last of the temples that I build this season, so I want all three of them to be consistent and look good next to each other. And then when this project is finished, we get to move on and like have a fresh palette, or like, you know, a fresh slate and do something different and new. So I really want this to fit the theme, so to speak. I'm kind of looking at these as like they're going to be the alignment for whatever building goes on. But that's, you know, that doesn't have to be the case at all. We also got to consider these. I think we're going to need a central building that's like got the beacon beams around it. Let's clear this inventory out. Oh no, wait, I'm using the wrong command. Oh, that'll do. There needs to be like a centerpiece at some point, right? And it probably needs to be way higher than that. Way higher than that. That's feeling more like potentially the peak. We could do like a bit more of a symmetrical thing. Like if you think about a classic Aztec temple, or maybe like a pyramid, you know, that's sort of like equal on the sides. Now I went for that with this initially. You'll see it as I fly around, but then I decided one corner needed to be different. And that was a good decision, I think. Whereas over here, maybe we embrace something like that. You know? So what I'm getting at is that each one could be a ring that like gets slightly bigger. Have that kind of shape to it. Going all the way down. And then maybe it's elevated up. Or something. Like a hollow obelisk. Not like an obelisk, like a pyramid, I think is what I'm going for. Just trying to think, so many pyramids this season, says Loose Nut. Oh, you mean 2 pyramids? One over there and potentially this one. This one hasn't even been built yet. Where's the other pyramid? So many pyramids. Do you know what? Oh my god, I've got so many hands. And so many feet and so many eyeballs. Oh my god. Oh, so many. Jeez. That's what 2 is. We go from 1 to so many. Let's rename. Let's petition the people with the numbers and the dictionaries and the alphabets. You know? We're going to rename 2 to so many. Yeah, I want like a command that just makes what I'm trying to do here easy. And I just actually remembered what it is. So, like, I don't know if I'm going to do this the fastest way or not, but we'll give it a try. Doozy2, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Larue EXE, Icebraz, Nebaria Kahalo. I don't know if I'm butchering these names or not, but thank you so much for supporting our channel. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Appreciate it, dude. Let's see, walls. Stone bricks, right? Now we just go over to the next level. Do that again. Okay, so like potentially that. Getting bigger and bigger. And then comparing it, like, I'm trying to just see it. I think I need to build more of it to know. How about a plaza on top instead of a pyramid? I don't know, like there's so many things, right? This is why I thought it might be a good idea to like pause here and let it, you know, let it rest in the mind's eye for a little bit. Because a pyramid could be kind of cool. I'm thinking a pyramid that's elevated, so you can walk underneath it, but then there's like pathways up to it and stuff. That's a perfect spot for an Eiffel Tower. I'm not sure if I want a tower structure because it breaks with the theme. I think it's important to respect like what era the architect is from, architecture, so that you have that intuitive understanding of like it all matches, right? That's what I was struggling with the colors down below. The orange looked gorgeous, but when you zoomed out a little bit, it was too strong. It was too much of a flavor. And I feel like what we got here is kind of a bit wild, but it does look kind of earthy. I think the fact there's lots of coarse dirt, in fact, I'll probably use more coarse dirt in there. Maybe a little rooted mud at the bottom, but like, you know, maybe blue looks really cool down the front there. But is there any blue in the rest of all of this? You know, yeah, maybe the soul lanterns. So we got to make things match across the whole area. Lilo Millo, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the raid. Sorry, the subscription. I got the wrong thing in my head. Maybe make the pyramid more chunky like the Mayan. I'm just building the shape to get like a bit of a mind's eye for it. Feels like it's almost big enough, which is a good size to have it as. You know, I really think it could work, but it might end up looking a little boring because I think it would create like a lot of empty space around it. And this will become very flat. So, lots of things to be considered. Just need a vision. I think what I might do is the paint thing. Like, I might get rid of all that stone brick, get a screenshot, and then try and paint on top of it. Like, try and see the shapes before I build them. I think today, though, I think that is probably going to be my thumbnail. Looks very complete when you find the correct angle. If you just back out a little bit, it's like, that was impressive. Just a curious question, how does the creative server work with the real server? Well, they don't work together, they're just two different servers. You love that I'm using Malcolm Horn's music. Yeah, Music Man's an awesome dude. I love his music, love playing them in the streams. Chill vibes. Some breezy jazz hop, it's awesome music. pyramid might look nicer if it had bigger steps. Maybe, but I'll be able to visualize that in my own time. Right. As you know, it's late for me to stream. I was going to do a morning Sunday one, but I just kind of felt like this evening I could jump into this project and it would be good timing because I need to clean the house tomorrow, top to bottom, so that's going to take up most of the day. So I was like, actually, if I just stream now, I think that'll work out better. Also, I got an episode of Hermitcraft coming your way tomorrow, so you got some entertainment, you know? Something every day is good, I think. Anyway, yeah, I'm wrapping up my stream, and before I go, if you're new here, if you haven't heard me talk about my music before, please do take the time to go check out Soulside Eclipse on Spotify, or Apple Music, or YouTube, or Bandcamp. And if you look in the chat, I'm sure some people will be kind enough to tell you they enjoyed my music, because I've had lots of amazing feedback, and I'm going to continue plugging it. But yeah, testimonials are welcome. Yeah, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking the time to do that. And I'm going to bounce. Oh yeah, we have to do a raid. I knew there was something I was missing. If you can buy it on iTunes, you'll check it out. You can buy it on iTunes. You can just listen to it. You can listen to it for free on Spotify if you want. Joe is streaming, so I'm going to send you over to Joe today. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.